Hi guys, so it is August 16th. It's very early in the morning. The sun hasn't quite risen yet. It's going to be super hot. But I want to take you around and show you a few highlights from the garden, as well as we should have a really good harvest. So things are still going really strong. I'm actually surprised. Some of the stuff has started to die back, but so much of it is just growing like crazy. It's probably the best garden season I've had so far. But I'd like to share that with you today, do some harvesting, and then we'll see what we find. So I'd like to welcome you to my backyard Kentucky homestead. My name is Kim. Let's get started. And oh, by the way, please bear with me. I'm a little under the weather, so my voice is a little messed up, but we'll get through this. But thank you for joining me, and let's get going. So over on this side, we have a variety of different trees that I've put into pots. I'm going to try to leave them in the pots over the winter. So we have some nectarines and peaches, also a variety of different apple trees. Over here, we have actually two sweet cherry trees. They're dwarf trees. It's the first time I've seen dwarf trees. They're doing pretty good. They had some earlier bug damage, but they have recovered quite a bit, and we're getting some nice new growth on there. And hopefully next year we'll have some cherries. The Morning Glory is in a grow bag. I don't want to put that in the ground, but it is actually really beautiful. This is a Picatee. And then we have the last of our trees. So we actually have quite a few trees growing. And I do intend to leave them here over the winter. And there's a couple, this one and those two, that I'm going to try to get into larger pots before winter. Over here we have a Romeo sour cherry or tart cherry bush and a Juliet cherry bush. I think we do have some jalapenos and cayenne. That one's a little bit too old, or went a little bit too far. This is a really cool one. I have to look it up. I don't remember if it's Mad Hatter or mushroom, but it's an interesting looking one. I'll go ahead and pull that weed while we're here. Let's see. Get some jalapenos. We're gonna make cowboy candy this afternoon. So this is our blackberry bushes. There's 3 of them, and they're actually starting to come into fruit again. And we've actually way up here. So it's a black gem blackberry from Stark Brothers. They're really good. That one there has got to be about 10 feet tall. But we got some more fruit setting, some more flowers. This is a second year cane I need to cut off. Got some beautiful cosmos. Now these apple trees, I'm going to have to look at them very closely this fall because I'm afraid we might have canker over here, so I may be pulling these out too, unfortunately. So over here is something I'm incredibly excited about. I think this is Racetrack. It's either Racetrack or Pipsqueak pumpkin from Johnny's. There's some dieback at the base, but the rest of it is doing beautiful. It's still, you can see over there, actually still putting on blooms. But we have several pumpkins that are ripening. So I got one there. There's several more on that line, and then there's one over here as well. So it's in the middle of the yard, but hey, why not? So I thought these were bush beans, but there are at least some semi-runner beans in here, but these are setting really good fruit. And the plants themselves are dying back. They're loaded with beans. So we should have plenty of black beans here soon. We're just gonna let those die back and dry. Got a pumpkin that started over in that second bed. It's coming along over here. These are the Suyo Long cucumbers that we planted a couple weeks ago. They're massive already. Got a lot of flowers. No fruit yet, but they're doing beautifully. And this is the Sure Thing, that's okra. And then there's a Sure Thing zucchini squash here. It's got flowers starting, so this was just planted as well. We've got a number of blueberry bushes here. There's several along this line, a couple over here, and then also our 4 grapes. I've got a 4th one here. I've got more of these round beds. We're gonna be putting them somewhere in the yard. I'm gonna put the grape over here. But then we're gonna get some of the blueberries in these raised beds as well, get them a permanent spot. But this grapevine is doing very, very well here. We're gonna get that trellis up here. We're supposed to get a cool down sometime late next week. So maybe we'll be able to get some stuff done. I think I've got some of this butternut squash that's ready to be picked. And these vines are definitely dying back, but we still have some here that's not ready. I'm gonna leave that one. But let's see if this one is ready. And what you wanna do is just touch it lightly with your fingernail. If it leaves an indent, it is not ready to pick. If it doesn't, then it is ready. So we're gonna cut it off with as much of the stem as we can, keep on it. And then we have a butternut squash. The first one. Where's the other one? There were two here. There it is. All right. Got a little scared. I couldn't find this one. It was underneath the squash plant. But these squash are actually regrowing quite a bit. So we're just going to leave all the vines here and let them do their thing. Got a smaller one. Because we're still, even though we have dieback, we still have flowers. So this squash, this bed is 17 inches and this squash is nearly that tall. So let's go ahead and grab that one too. Look at that. Absolutely monstrous. So there are quite a few more of the honey nut or baby nut. Let's get some of these leaves off that are definitely sick. That one's pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead and trim that one at that point. But we do have more, I mean, nice growth here. We've also got 1, 2, 3, there's one up here. There's one up here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 more of these type of squash. So we're just gonna leave most of this vine as it is. Okay. We're gonna leave the rest of that. And then there's still more, there's some up top, and then there's some on the other side. Another cool thing is the tamarillo fruit. I think it's just about ready. But it is. Ooh. Oh no, that's tart. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be, but yeah. Ugh. I'm gonna have to look that up and see what we are supposed to do with it. So in this bed, we also have some humongous okra leaves. So those should be producing fruit soon. So this is the Japanese Jabai Shimashazu cucumber. Yeah, I need to grab the neem oil. Try to save these. It's got some flower buds starting. This is the other side of that Suyolong. And I got this trellis at Meijer this week for $15. So some of the butterflies on it. It's so cute. It was half off. And it was perfect timing because that one, the Suyolong, seriously needed another trellis. That's just going to town. I do have vine board damage on this squash, but it's still growing, so we're going to leave it for now. I'll show you what the vine board damage looks like. So right in here is the vine board damage. I think it actually has a zucchini down here. There we go. And given that it is mid-August, it's the 16th, I mean, this garden at this point is far surpassing any of other squash gardens that I've had. our squash plants. It's doing far better. Uh-oh, don't squash the squash. In this bed we have our orchard baby corn, which is developing ears, and hopefully it'll do it before the plant dies. I think some of them are further along than others. Got a couple of new blueberry plants here that we're going to be adding to the collection. Blueberries are so incredibly expensive that I really wanted to go ahead and ramp up our blueberry capacity. Another one. I've got some more squash in this bed. Doing pretty good. Some beautiful zinnias. So we have one little batwing pumpkin that's made it so far. I think the plant over on that side on the ground has one too. But it's better than last year. Last year was none. Now, one thing that I am absolutely in awe of is how well these tomatoes are doing. Usually by the middle of August, most of the tomatoes would be dead. I have had to pull a couple, but for the most part, they're doing really, really well. So the Matt's Wild Cherry here was really getting disease, so I cut most all of that back, and it has started to regrow. Super Fantastic is doing fantastic, and it's loaded. It's one of the few really big tomatoes, or bigger tomatoes, that I've found that actually has a lot of fruit on it. We do have some disease starting, but hey, it's the late part of August, or middle of August, so. The Chocolate Lightning tomatoes, I was not happy with. Every one of them that has started to ripen has gotten splits in it, and it's just a mess. They're not edible. So we'll not be growing that one again. This is the Metallica one. This is one of the ones that I transferred. Actually, this might be Chocolate Lightning to Metallica. Let's see, we've got one here. Yeah, this is what the Chocolate Lightning was doing as well. It's splitting and getting really big. I don't know. I'm not going to grow that one either anymore, probably. Because even they split like crazy. It's just not usable. On the flip side, we have the Rebel Starfighter Prime, which is a huge ox heart shaped tomato. It's a little soft inside, beautiful, covers the entire sandwich, really, really nice, and it's also prolific grower. We have tons of tomatoes around here, intertwined with our cypress vine. But yeah, I will absolutely be growing the Rebel Starfighter Prime again. It is a beautiful, wonderful tasting tomato. Here's another branch of it. So there's a whole cluster of tomatoes here and here. And then inside the trellis, we've got more up here. And there's some there. This is all one plant. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, there's one up there. The cypress vine is taking over everything. So, absolutely gorgeous. Love it. The black cherry is also a prolific producer, and it has got some splitting. It has been one of my favorites since the beginning. So I do grow this every single year. It's one that will produce all the way up to the first frost. And it's been a few days since I was able to get out here, so some of these are a little overripe. This is gorgeous. So Super Fantastic, which is this one here, is a hybrid, and it is putting very large tomatoes on, same as the one down there, and it's absolutely beautiful, and there's very little, if any, disease on it. There's a little bit of dieback, but not much. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 Starfighter Prime tomatoes on it. And this one was planted late because this had a sun gold cherry tomato here that broke in the wind. So this one got planted a couple weeks after the others. These are our bell peppers. Let's see if we've got any to harvest. Close. I think we've got quite a few peppers going on. These are cucumbers that we started earlier in June, I think. We've got quite a lot of growth. I don't think we've got any cucumbers yet. There's a little baby one starting right there. But we do have a lot of flowers. Going like crazy. We got some more okra. These are massive leaves. Got another squash plant. Two of them actually. Orange Lisa pepper. I'm going to leave that one. So that one should turn yellow. These are the giant Marconi peppers primarily. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these. Hopefully these will turn red, but we do have quite a few peppers on here finally. And then we've got our Anaheims chilies. I'm going to can some of these up. I've got some in the freezer, but I'd like to get some canned up, make my own green chilies like you would buy from the store. So over here we also have our Puerto Rico sweet potatoes. 2 plants in that one in that. There's 1 plant in there, 2 in here, and 2 in here, and they're vining out some, so they're hopefully making potatoes. This tomato, I think, is a sun gold. It has been prolific and absolutely delicious. A lot of it is dying back, but we do have a lot of fresh growth. So what I may do is cut portions of it back so it'll reflush, and then there should be plenty of time for it to put on brand new tomatoes, because cherry tomatoes don't take very long. Okay, I'll do that after. Also going to go ahead and pick some of these little boo pumpkins. These vines are dying back, so, and they're ready. Got a couple here. I think there's a baby bear on the other side, and then there's at least a couple of white ones. Baby pumpkins! Yay! And I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit because it's way overgrown. So I think this is the North Georgia candy roaster. It's vining all over the place. We're gonna go ahead and, yeah, pick this. This is a baby bear pumpkin. There we go. Yay. Okra. So let me show you a few more highlights, and then we will go ahead. I'll go ahead and finish harvesting and then show you what we've got. So this is the North Georgia candy roaster. It is vining over here, as well as on that far side over that way. And probably that one too, up the trellis. And we got some caladium, some really pretty flowers. I am going to try to come through at some point here very soon and clean this up. The black-eyed peas are just absolutely cranking. We got more flowers on them, more vines, and a whole lot of beans. Flower beds out here are doing really well. The one in the back is not doing great. I think I have a drip irrigation issue. Also need to get out here and cut some grass. But my drip line goes from that way to the garden. And for some reason it's buckling here and there's some leaking somewhere. So I've got some issues that I'm gonna have to investigate once it cools down a little bit. Meyer had their plants 50% off, so I got a couple of reblooming lilacs, another ghost wine and spirits Weigella, a couple of other things, another panicum, strawberry sundae, panicum hydrangea, a butterfly bush, another reblooming lilac, and then the stuff in the garden bed is doing well. This one anyway, it's gorgeous. Strawberries, so the strawberries are I am not thrilled with how they are growing in the green stock, so I'm going to go ahead and move them into a bed come September probably, and hopefully they will produce a whole lot more. They're not getting enough consistent sunlight or enough consistent water. Part of that is my fault, and part of it I think is just they're just not set up well for this. But if you want to draw hummingbirds, definitely plant this Mexican torch sunflower. It is amazing. I've seen hummingbirds actually fight over that. Got a few other things to plant back there. Some angelonia. This is an annual. This is angelonia. Absolutely gorgeous. Our Raven's coxcomb celosia is doing beautifully. Snapdragons and the frosted explosion grass is just beautiful. This is the hydrangea we planted earlier this year. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a quick fire. So it has a more open bloom. It's not as tight as the panicle hydrangeas or the limelight type. This was a single small rudbeckia plant 2 years ago, and it's huge. I do need to deadhead it. I got some stuff going to seed. I've got actually some more harvest here. This is our green stock for the salsa. We've got a bunch of tomatoes. We've got some more jalapenos, some habanadas. They'll be ready soon. Over here, we've got the LUFFA gourd and some purple beans ready to harvest. Tomatoes are still doing pretty good over on the far side. We have tomatillos over here. I've harvested quite a few. We don't have any LUFFA. This is actually the very first LUFFA flower that we've gotten. LUFFA was really hard to get going, and it is probably too late at this point. Oh no, look, there is one. Or something. Yeah, there's 2 of them. 3 of them. Oh my goodness. Covered in ants. I need to spray with neem. Might have aphids up here. I'm absolutely covered in ants, but I've got 3 little LUFFA gourd. Awesome. Did not know they were there. So I'm going to be cleaning this up once it cools down. I have some compost in that tumbler that's ready to come out. We'll put that in the garden beds, and then we'll get a lot of this debris back into it so it'll start composting and get all that mess cleaned up. Our Desperado green beans are finally flowering. They're doing wonderful. And we have, I don't know if you can see it, right about in there, there is a pumpkin growing. I think it's a Dutch fork pie pumpkin, or how, I don't know. There's a Dutch fork pie pumpkin, howden, and then something else in that bed. So there's a pumpkin finally coming out of that bed. Now, I never did get this section on drip, so it has been very, very sporadic. We had a lot of rain early in the season, and then we had no rain almost at all. Some areas got tons of rain, but this particular area got little to none. Got some more okra to harvest, probably some rattlesnake beans back there to harvest, and we do actually have a couple of pumpkins growing. So we've got one back here. Oh, there's actually a couple. There's one there. There's one, oh my goodness. Oh, that's going to be a problem. But it's buckling the trellis. That might be one of the Provence ones. I'm not sure. But that's buckling. Oh well. It's got plenty of airflow. We have harvested some of the butternut. There is one more there, and then there were some acorn squash that we've already harvested. We do have more of the rattlesnake beans growing. So we've got a lot of dieback. There's an acorn squash. We have a lot of dieback here, but we still actually have some pumpkins, which, given my past experience with growing pumpkins in this area, I'm thrilled. We have some more of the zucchini rampicati. We have a couple more of the zucchini rampicati. It has actually grown so much. It went up the trellis, it went over the trellis, and then back down, and now it's coming off. Over here. It's super healthy for that part of it. That's why I don't want to touch any of the vines. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a Dutch fork pie pumpkin. Finally, yeah, got one. Next year I'll have it on drip. I also have it, this is getting too much shade, so space things out better next year. So the sun's coming up, as you can see, and it's getting warm. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick finish on the harvest, and then I'll be back and show you what we got. And one thing also, as with the pumpkins, every year is a learning year and experimental year. With gardening, one season it'll do great, one year it'll do great, and the next one it won't. We had a really cold winter. We're expecting another really cold winter this year too, so maybe we'll have less pest pressure. But there are things that I've done this year, which I'll share with you in a later video, and I have shared some of that with you already, about things that I'm trying to fine-tune what I'm doing in my garden to deal with my particular climate and my particular pest pressure. So a lot of that just takes some time and just experimentation. So let me finish the harvest and then I'll show you what we got. All right, so there we go. We got a harvest. I love it. So we got some butternut squash. We got some various kinds of pumpkins, baby boo and little Jack Be Little. This is a baby bear pumpkin. We got some jalapenos and some chili peppers, tomatoes, a couple of squash, okra, and a few beans. So I'm super happy with this. So anyway, we're doing great, and it's getting really hot out here. So we're gonna get inside. And thank you for joining me. If you're interested in more gardening videos, check this one out. And until the next time, happy gardening. Have a wonderful day, and bye.